Yeah, absolutely, and especially when you've got a couple of matches where you're prepping up for another series, you want to spend as much time out in the middle as possible. You don't want to give your wicket away cheaply. You want to make sure you capitalise and spend some time understanding the pitch, trying to get some mileage in your legs, and going into the next series with some confidence. You don't want to nick out early or get bowled cheaply. So you want to be able to get into a position where you're taking that confidence and momentum into the next series. I'm sure he's slightly disappointed in the way in the manner in which he's got out. But I'm pretty sure there's another couple of games for him to get himself ready.
Yeah, well, we'll be back on Wednesday, that's for sure. On a 50-over game between these two sides. Today's game, we've got a change of bowling. Skipper Chuggy, Charles Pershard. For a little bit of pace off, keeper comes up to the stumps. Fine leg is out on the boundary, as is square leg. So we're at the end of the 10 overs, so fielding restrictions have changed. Outside off is punched away, it's going to take some stopping. Rockets away along the boundary. Good dive.
45 डिग्री बनाउनको के गर्नुपर्छ भन्न 45 डिग्री बनाउनु के गर्नुपर्छ
गाइज यो स्ट्रिमै बन्द गरिदियो यार, के भयो यार। स्ट्रिम देखाउनेले लाइभ स्ट्रिमै बन्द गरिदियो। गाइज यो स्ट्रिमै बन्द गरिदियो यार, के भयो यार। सबैजनाले लाइक र सेयर हानौँ है। यहाँ एकैछिनमा लिङ्क आइहाल्छ कि सबैजनाले लाइक र सेयर चाहिँ हानौँ है। लाइक सेयर सब्सक्राइब हानौँ है सबैजनाले। एकैछिन यो के भएको हो कि यो लिङ्क आइहाल्छ अहिले एकछिनमा। खोइ गाइज यो के भयो यार, स्ट्रिमै बन्द भयो।
7th over.
आज कुशल भुटेलले गाइस कति रन हान्छ कमेन्ट गरेर भन्नु होला।
I think the length of the delivery have changed. The ball's got 14 runs in. The length of the delivery changed. The ball's got 14 runs in. The bounce and the length of the pace of the new ball is slightly different. The ball's got 14 runs in. The bounce and the length of the pace of the new ball coming back in the second spell.
Do you think perhaps they missed a trick? He bowled 3 overs from this end at the start. Would you have maybe thought to have continued him for another couple, bowl out 5 maybe?
Definitely. Maybe got Bimmel in too early, but yeah, if it was me, I'd want my fast bowler who's causing a lot of questions, who's asking a lot of questions, want him to continue on a little bit longer.
Ooh, a play and a miss. Here comes Samaroa. He's found his bounce back. A little bit of extra bounce from that surface.
Yeah, there is. I think there'll always be, good bounce from this end of the wicket. Just starting to see a little raindrops starting to come through, which is no heavy sign just yet.
Just pattering on the top of the marquee here. His bin turns around busily out towards deep square. Just going to be a single. Samaroa takes one just slightly down leg and then uses it just to tick his score along. He moves to 16. Kushal Patel on 37, who's now on strike. Halfway through the 16th over. Powell 76 for 1. 2 batters set at the crease now. Pulled away. Convincingly beats the fielder. Had no chance out there. Brilliant shot from Kushal Patel, who's been so strong off the back foot. He's pulled away with brilliant style. 80 for 1.
Such a strong puller of the ball. We've already seen signs of that today. He's hit them really hard, one bounce into the boundary, and I'm not quite sure that's probably the right plan here.
It feels like it's a play that could work. They've got the deep men out at deep backward square and fine leg, and we have seen that that change in bounce, especially from the height of Samaroa. He's got to get it spot on though, otherwise he's getting put away to the fence. Here comes Samaroa, short again, pulled again, in front of square, this time finding the fielder out in the deep. There's Patrick Googe out there. And there's a single to end the over from Samaroa. 6 runs coming from it. He's been Jersey's pick of the bowlers, I'd say, so far. But Nepal finish the 16th over, 81 for 1. Looks like we're going to take drinks now. So the Nepalese batter's going to go for a conflab. 80 for 1 from these 16 overs. Nepal definitely on top, and they're in the box seat as we look at the scorecard here. Sheikh was dismissed by Richardson, a brilliant Yorker for 16. But since then, it's been all Nepal, hasn't it, Kaz?
Yeah, it has, and credit goes to Kushal and Bim there for slightly rescuing the innings, if you like. A bit early to say that, but 42 or 50 for Kushal and Bim 16 for 26. So he's been busy when he's got to the crease. He's been fantastic to watch. Kushal has slowly got into the game, and when he has, he's really punished the bowlers. Anything short he's tucked into. He's got quality hitting down the ground as well. So yeah, fantastic start. First 15 overs, 82 for 1. Game set nicely there.
Yeah, it is, and I think he was 3 off about 15 or 16 at one point. He's really started to gain more confidence as we see the bowling card. Charles Pashard has looked good at times from the far end. 3 overs 0 for 18. Beer as well looked to vary his pace a lot. Groundsman here looking to find a couple of demons in the wicket he's prepared, which looks a brilliant track. Samaroa gone at 4.3 per over. He's bowled with precision at times, but the short ball ploy he's trying to act out at the minute doesn't seem to be working just yet. Richardson with that 1 wicket as well. Now with Nepal on top, this drinks break comes at a good time here for Jersey. What do you think's the message in the camp from head coach Neil McRae? What do you reckon they'll be trying to draw out of his players?
I think he'll be asking questions around the length. He'll probably be, looking to see which end he can really exploit. I think if I was Neil, I'd be trying to reduce the boundary ball to try and ask where we can get a little bit more pressure inside the ring. But overall, I don't think it's been an overly bad start from Jersey. I think so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But overall, I think that's a positive start from Jersey. 15 overs, whether they can, drinks always brings one or 2 wickets, as they say. So it'll be interesting to see how, the next couple of wickets, from a Nepal point of view, it'll be interesting to see whether they can restart again, group again, focus back in and see how the next 5 overs, the next 10 overs, the next 15 overs, 5 over periods, on whether they can sort of start to capitalise and get into them triple figures.
Yeah. Just building on what you said there about the plans to each batter, saying how that short ball ploy to Bertel doesn't seem to quite be working yet.
No.
I tell you what though, I reckon it could work to Bim because Bim's looked to be a pretty compulsive hooker of the ball. There was a shot he hit out to a deep mid wicket from the other end. I think maybe off the bowling of George Richardson perhaps that he didn't quite get a hold of. And I think that the extra bounce of Samaroa to slightly shorter batter of Bim Sharkey that might be a little bit more of a ploy. But Patel has put away any back of the length delivery today.
Yeah, and interesting to see. You're 100% right. I'd like to go shorter and Bim, probably from this end, the end that we're at, hitting into the wind. See if he can hold one up because the one that he has played didn't look quite convincing. Whereas Kushal, I'm not sure the short ball ploy against him. If anything, you'd want to keep him quiet. You'd want to put some pressure on Bim as much as possible.
Yes.
But again, it's a different passage of play now. It's about who can contain the longest, who can sort of bring a breakthrough, and what type of breakthrough. Can we go, 1, 2 brings 3 sort of thing? But it'll be interesting to see how they attack the next 15 overs.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's bring boundaries away from Kushal. See if he can try and force something out and really try and build up the pressure to him, and maybe the short ball ploy could work for Bim. But looks like we're going to get a little bit of spin. Jersey's number 27, Ben Ward, is going to be coming on to the bowling. And it's an interesting play here from Jersey. It'll be good to see if we can get any turn out of this wicket.
I'd love to see some turn out this way, because that asks a lot more questions. That really provides a different challenge. Leg spinner, not easy in these conditions to come on straight away. So it'll be interesting to see how he settles in nicely. I'm sure Benjamin, has got some quality repertoires to sort of lean on in terms of experience. It'll be interesting to see on this pitch, it's the pace that you can deliver on, and whether you can extract some pressure of the ball sliding in, or whether you can just get a little bit of turn there.
Here we go then, after the drinks break. Ben Ward draws out a pushing defensive to start. Good start from him. It's also always really interesting seeing these 50-over matches, how spinners start to work out, as you mentioned, about the pace of their bowling, sort of what works on each surface. It's always slightly different, whether it's get the ball above the eye line or hit it in a little bit more darty, as Kushal drives out to wide long off region, just a single. But I think you're right, it feels like a pitch that might not grip early on, so actually those slightly quicker slidey deliveries might prove more successful.
Yeah, and you can just see from Kushal's first two balls there that it's an up and down movement from the bowler. Great pace going through the crease. Lovely to see. Great action. It's smooth. It's just whether he can get some turn out. The danger is if there's no turn, over extra cover becomes a target area.
Very good start this from Ward. I do like it when, if you've just picked up on that over extra cover area, and I always see it as a little bit of a trap, and if spinners can build up some pressure, diving stop at mid-wicket, all of a sudden, when a player has to try and force it over extra, maybe if it's not there to be hit, it's often how some brilliant batters do get dismissed when they search for that gap over extra. First drag down there from Ward, gets clattered out towards deep cover.
And I'd probably say just a hint of spin. A little bit of purchase just off the ground. And again, if you can find the right pace with the right length, I think you will get some purchase from it. The question is whether you can maintain that pace. Often what they say in cricket is, as a bowler, you've got to really, first 4 or 5 deliveries is find out what pace you need to bowl, what length you need to bowl, and what plan you need to set up. The excellent players in the world probably do that in 2 to 3 balls. They'll figure that out quite quickly. Other bowlers might take an over to sort of realise that, club amateurs might take 3 overs. So, it's how quickly you can suss that out.
Yeah. Well, Kushal's going to have a switch of ends. Chugging you bowled pretty well from the far end now. Just taking his talents to this one. And Jersey seem to think now, as soon as the first 15 or so overs are up, they've had the drinks break and they've had their group discussion over a bit of hydration, and now they come to the agreement that pace off is the way forward. Can they get a breakthrough? Can they build up some pressure and maybe force an error out of these 2 set batters for Nepal? Here comes
250
Kushal.
टार्गेट त कम भयो 280 सम्म चाहिँ पुर्याउला है के छ विचार गाइजहरुको
Single to leg side.
लाइक सब्स्क्राइब चाहिँ हानौं शेयर हानौं सबैजनालाई सबैजना मिलेर हेरौं
What are the challenges that a bowler like this possesses? How he's not a spinner. He's very much a slow medium bowler with lots of tricks, and it's the kind of bowler which is quite classical of sides in the UK. It provides a different challenge, doesn't it?
I had the great pleasure of watching Benny Hull bowl in franchise cricket.
Yes.
He was part of a team that I was involved in, and his repertoire was fantastic. And them sort of bowlers are very, very tricky. and often match winners.
Yeah.
So they can either they'll take the pace off and stick to one side and try and force an error in the batter with lots of different repertoires, pace off, different variations, and that's what you want from these type of bowlers. And they'll bowl wicket to wicket, keeper up, lots of pressure.
कुशलले कति
Very
हान्छ
many how like is Prashad.
कुशलले प्रोबेबली
Straight, simple,
70-80 रन त
Liverpool
हान्छ
style.
होला 100 पनि बनाउन
But
सक्छ
it's a
भन्न
good pressure
सकिँदैन
hit.
कुशल भुर्जेल
And
फर्ममै
this is
छ
the
अहिले
type of bowler who can build pressure, keeper up, get through the overs very quickly. Before you know it, you might be on 21, 22 overs and you've not added too much to the scoreboard. So, quality cricketer, straight into great lengths, and this is the type of pressure you want.
300 प्लस टार्गेट
Good
भन्नुभएको
grip
छ
from the surface. Draws a loose
कुशल
shot from
भुटेल चल्यो भने
Picked it up
पछाडि
square leg for a
दिपेन्द्र
single.
सिंह ऐलीको पनि अप्सन छ
It's often
रोहित
thought
पौडेलले
about in
पनि
the second innings.
आफ्नो गेम
of a
सुधारेको
one-day
होला अलिअलि
that's
50
when
प्लस रन त हान्नुपर्ने हो
two slower
पौडेलले
bowlers can get through and over really quickly. All of a sudden, the chasers have lost overs in their run chase, and it can also be a massive pressure builder. But it's also so important in that first innings. They got off to a great start here, Nepal.
110
A bit chippy
रन
into the
मेरो
leg side.
ओपिनियनमा
There you go,
हान्न
starting
सक्छ
to bruise
फर्ममा छ
Nixon.
कुशल
So
भुटेल
2 loose shots straight away. You can see them towards the back end of the overs. Kushal hit one out to square leg. Wasn't the best timed, miscued, and obviously Bim there chipping one up to mid wicket. Half a chance, but I mean nobody there to really catch it. But this is the type of wickets that you'll get from the likes of Prashad, Benny Howard, inverted commas bowler. But no, I mean.
लाइक शेयर हान्न
If
स्ट्रिमलाई
you've got quality
सबैजना
bowlers
मिलेर हेरौँ
in your side who can offer that variation, pressure, that's a great skill to have.
Back of the length, cut away, good stop. Like a little bit of spin off the surface as that cut shot was sliced to backward point, wrong-footed the fielder in there. Jonty Jenner doing some good fielding. Ward is in again. Another similar cut shot. Beats in this time. It's going to be 4 more. Speed to Jenner on the right shoulder. And balls out to that cover boundary have raced away today.
And he's made that shot look very easy. The transfer onto the back foot, minimal. Cut behind, actually in front of backup point, if you like.
Full toss from Ward almost brought about a chance, but it was into a gap, a lofting punch. I was about to say how I was just starting to think whether maybe we might see a bit of a get-out shot from Nepal. Maybe that pressure building was slightly beginning to get the better of them. But when they can pull off shots like that, especially Kushal, just back of a length and guided just past the fielder with precision. Reverse sweep this time. Well fielded. Good piece of work from Charles Bashard, who's the sign of a bowler who's looking to partnership. And those dots can be so important. Signals of defensive boundaries for Nepalese fans.
A bit of innovation from Bim before, I like to see that.
Ward bowls, good area that one. In at the stumps, brings the pads into play, brings the stumps into play, and that ends the over. 93 for 1, couple of good dots to end. The it feels like it's changing. 93 for 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming into this second phase just after the hydration break, if that's what we're calling it.
Don't get yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure you got your views. But it seems like the momentum shifted a little bit. The intensity's gone up. Yeah, good quality set up at the moment. 93 for 1 off 19. know where your get-out shot is and where your option is.
And Kushal's just played one of his get-out shots with a brilliant sweep over
where you
backwards
get
square leg. This man looks to be the calmest man in the place, really. He's been picking up singles and twos just past fielders. He's also clattered the ball away to the boundary with significant ease throughout his knock. 64 he moves on to. That one's shorter, doesn't get a hold of it. He mistimes a cutout towards deep cover. I'll move on to 119 for one.
I'd be interested to see how Ward adapts to this change of ends. So far, wind coming down across the ground. It's bowling with the wind, if you like, going across him.
Good work from the keeper, prevents a single.
Busy in it.
Just to say, Jersey is still well and truly in this game. I think what's really showing how well Jersey are bowling at the minute is Bim's strike rate. He's a player who loves to be active at the crease, loves to stay positive.
Like us your anime guys stream live.
50, which shows they're not giving a lot to the batters. The single's taken into the offside. And Kushal's no, here's overthrows. Bit of backing up. Hasn't worked. So Jenner's going to have to come in and pick it up, so an extra run added. Zach Tribe, I think. He let the overthrow go past. He was a match winner in Jersey's last match. Full delivery, comes down the ground. Good diving stop though. That's Samaroa in there. And that's an end to Ward's over. Nepal 121 for one. Oh yeah, so just building on my point. Patel, who's a player who can go at an astonishing rate. The fact that he's not going at 100 or over is also just adding to that. How well Jersey have bowled. Yes, they haven't taken that wicket. They haven't let the game get away from them.